right, welcome back. I had to do a little changing around here. I had a few technical issues with my computer, and I had to basically recover everything. And due to that, some of the craziness that happens with Vassal from time to time jumped up. I could not go as a solitaire player anymore, and I think I figured out how to keep myself from worrying about that going forward. So that's kind of nice. But so what I've done is I've reset and I've used the newer maps here. And I've got everything all set and everything along those lines. So I even got, the turn markers and things like that. The turn track is up to date with all the proper everything. The guards losing 2 steps, the Luftwaffe have lost 1. So it's all in all, it's good to go. So it works out pretty well. I've got everything kind of back to where it should be with regards to the turn track and things like that. The one thing is as I was going through, I actually realized there was 2 pieces of information that I did not have, and part of it is the fact that I can dig in with all of my units. The only problem is most of the stuff that I have here. Um, Being that woods, you can't dig in, and neither town. So everywhere I went, I can't dig in. So that's not going to be an issue on that one. Although the one point is that I could do uh, 5 units. So one of the things that I'm going to do is not 5 units, 5 points of minefields. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a few things where I'm going to put some decoys out here, um, and kind of where I would put them if I were, and I'm going to put up to 5. We'll see how it turns out. This is where I would put them anyways. But you get 5 points of minefields and 2 dummies or decoy counters. So this is kind of the way I've gone through about this. It works out pretty well on that one. So I'm just going to keep doing it this way. And then when I come in here, what I'll do is I'll do this. There's a random counters button here where I can pull a minefield off and go from there. Once I hit 5 points, or once I hit 5 points, I'll take it off. And if I hit more than 2 decoys, I'll just erase the decoys ones on those along those lines as well. So it works out pretty well. But what we're going to need to do is we are going to, and I'm going to test this out here. Yep, I've got set up for the solitaire. I am going to do the initiative rolls here, and we're going to get started. So right now we're on the Soviet initial. So they have, of course, an initiative of 4. So we've got 2 plus 4 is 5. And then the Germans initiative is, oh, I hit the wrong button. 2 plus 1 is 3. So the Soviets are going to get a single activation before the Germans do. So I'm going to move this to the side, so that way we can get it taken care of and I'm not going to have to worry about it. So first thing I want to do is I kind of want to take this group up here and this group right here, this captain. I'm going to activate him. I'm going to move these HMGs forward, getting them moving forward, but I'm going to fire this guy right here. So we're going to go ahead. They're going to get activated. And then all but this one's going to fire. So we're going to go ahead and move here. Now, let's see. What do we got here? 4s. 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Just can't quite get there. These are going to move here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. This guy right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So this HMG is in range, but I think he's going to hold off. He's not going to opportunity fire. Now this 82 millimeter mortar, he is going to go for this guy right there. It's definitely within the 10. So we'll pull up the game charts here, and we will go to bombardment fire. He is an 8. So we'll take a look here. Let me, I can't shrink this down anymore. Okay, so he is an 8. By the way, this is my first activation here. Let's see here. Target hexes a town, so he gets -2, so he goes down to 3. I think that's it. I don't think there are any positive. Oh, self-spotting. Yeah, so that's +1, so that goes up to the 5. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna bombard that with 5. So on the 5, we get a. Oh, it's 2 dice. Ooh, a 3 on the 5. That should be something. So let's go ahead and pull the game charts back up. A 3 on the 5 is a morale check. It's 8-6. This guy does have morale right here. So we will roll the morale. He has a morale of, he needs an 8 or less. And he gets a 7, so he is fine. So these guys have now been all activated. Okay. So now it is the Germans and what I think they're going to do. So we're going to... Oh, I did forgot to include the off-board artillery. So hold on, let me get that taken care of. All right, I got it up. And we basically, the first 4 turns, we're still getting the 18 and 24 Soviets. But what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take this 16 and I think we're going to go after that unit, those units right there. Again, game charts. This bombardment 16. It's in the open. I don't think there's anything. It's not spotted. So yeah, it's just going to be on the 16 column here. 2 dice. 10 on the 16 is an M1. So this will be it's an 8. So we'll go ahead and hit this. Mark this as fired. So the demoralized is a 7. Well, it's an M1, so he's an 8. Demoralized down to 7, and then it's M1, so he needs a 6 or less. Hey, gets a 5, and this guy will need a 7 or less. Gets an 8, so he is disrupted. So that was quite effective for the 2nd Luftwaffe. All right, what are we going to do now? Whew. Well, I think we'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and activate this lieutenant here. They're going to... we're going to go ahead and move. They'll be able to move 2 hexes, so they're going to go 1... and then 2. And then what we're going to do is these 2 units right, these guys are going to op fire right here. So it's only 2 hexes away. That will be a 12 on the direct fire. So it'll be on the 11. Not woods, not town. Not more than 3 hexes away. Let's see here. It is op fire, so it's going to be +1. So that's going to put them on the 16. Yep. So that'll be on the 16. So 2d6 on the 16. We get a 10, which is an M1 for these guys. So the lieutenant is a 9. So that'll go down to an 8. You got a 6. And then the infantry here is an 8, so 7 or less, please, and a 3. So they are fine. So they moved, and now they are activated. So we can activate them. That's 2nd activation for the 17th Guard. Trying to figure out what I want to do with 1, 2, 3. That would put me on the 7. Yeah. Ooh. Yep. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to fire with these guys. They are going to fire at this target right here. It is 1, 2, 3 hexes away. So, but what's nice is that, so we add these all up. Oop, we'll shift that down just a little bit here. We'll add this all up, and it is 4, 4, and 10, but the lieutenant gives it 11. So that will bring this up to the 11 column, which is great. Okay, so because we will lose a column when it comes down to it. And I think that's it. I think it's more than 3 hexes away. But other than that, it's going to drop down from the 11 down to the 7. So here we go, 2d6 with the 7. 9 on the 7 is, just missed. So that's an activation. So that's the second activation for the second Luftwaffe. You know what? This lieutenant's like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and activate here. We're gonna activate all these guys. This guy is just gonna move. Well, he's gonna move, but let's do this. He's gonna move here. These guys are going to do recovery checks. Now, this lieutenant, unfortunately, does not help them at all. So we'll do this demoralized. So I always got to remember that when we're doing the checks, the morale checks, or the recovery checks, it is actually let me get this out here. It is actually less than, not equal to or less than, less than. So it's this morale is a 8. It drops down to a 7, so you need a 6 or less. It gets a 3. So he does increase morale, which is now disrupted, which is good. This guy is an 8, so it's a 7 or less. That's also a 3, so he is back to nothing, which is good. And this morale check, he's going to go morale check here, 10. So he is going to take a step loss, unfortunately. So he's going to flip. That is another step loss for the 17th Guard. So they're up to 3 step losses now. And he's still demoralized. He's out of range, so there's no more running or anything like that. He doesn't have to flee or anything along those lines. So that will be the third activation for the guards. So we will grab these guys, and they will be all activated now. All right. So what is the... what are they going to do? So we're going to scroll down here, see if there's anything. They're really worried about this stack right here. Actually, this whole group right here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to use that last off-board artillery and go after that unit right there with a 16. So again, we'll pull up the game chart. So this will be bombardment fire. It's on the 16. It's going to be just on the 16. There's nothing here. So it's just going to be on the 16. So 2d6 on the 16. We get a 4, which is an M1. Okay. Game chart's off. This guy is now fired. So the captain is a 9. It's an M1, so that's an 8 or less. Ooh, he gets a 10, so he does disrupt. The 82 millimeter mortar is a an 8, minus 1 plus 1, minus, so it's an M1, so that's it goes down to 7, but it gets plus 1, so it's an 8. Disrupts as well. And then finally, this guy, same thing. He's fine. That was quite effective. Okay, so that was the third activation. Oops, wrong way. Come on. The third activation for the Luftwaffe. So we have our first fog of war roll, which is a 9. Okay. All right. So what to do now? I think we're going to go ahead and activate these units here. And with the leader, we're going to do some firing. First of all, we're going to try to recover the leader. So that's an 8 or less. 2, he's fine. Oh, let's go ahead. These guys are going to activate. Move. I think we're just going to move. So he's fine. And then this guy is also fine. So basically that just held up. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this guy 1. We're going to move this guy 1 here. And I think we're going to go ahead and move this guy back. Okay. Activate. Frog of War. 12. Ooh, we're getting 16, 17, or 18 will get us to we'll end the turn. What to do now? What to do now? Let's see here. Trying to figure out what I want to do. If there's anything I really want to do. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll take this guy. He is going to fire on this guy right here. It's only on the 4. I'm not too worried about it. Direct fire. 6, that's nothing. Okay. I wasn't even going to look at it until I knew for sure. Oops. Activated. Okay. So now Fog of War. 11. Nope, no problem there. Okay, so the Soviets have activated quite a bit here. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and activate. We're going to activate these guys right here. They're all going to move, and so Woods is actually 2 if I remember right. Game charts, terrain effects. Woods is foot is 2. Yep. This guy can move, but he is foot movement because I think it's still considered foot movement. Let's go ahead and move him 1. All right. Activate. Okay. Fog of War, 12 again. Oh, why not? Let's go ahead and activate that guy for a fire, and then we'll fire. We'll fire on this guy right here. That is a 12 on the bombardment column. And self-spotted, so that will make it a 16. And that'll be it. Yep, 16. So 2d6 on a 16. A 9 on the 16 is just a morale check, so the lieutenant's a 9. He's fine. And then we have the wagon is a 6, is fine. And then I'm pretty sure they're limbered, so they go together. So I don't think the gun has to because he's limbered to the wagon. Now he's activated. 13. We keep flirting with it for sure. Well, let's go ahead and use. Now, one thing I did said you can use 2. You can actually use up to 3 on this. So what I'm going to do, though, is I think I'm going to take this 24, Because if we look at the game charts here from bombardment, 24 is going to be on this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and bombard this. Now it's in woods. I don't think that does anything. Nope, it's woods. So it's just straight on the 21 here. 2d6 on the 21. 6 on the 21 is nothing. Dang it. And Fog of War, 11. They're gonna pass. Yep, they're gonna pass. Now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this major. He's gonna activate all of these units here, and we will move. So we're gonna go. Oh, and even this, I gotta do this one. This guy is going to op fire. He will be on the 4. But it is a +1, so he's going to be on the 7. And 8 on the 7 is nothing. So he's moved there, and he's going to move one more. He's not going to fire in this one. This guy's going to move here. He will op fire, so it'll be on the 7. 7 on the 7 is nothing, so this guy is going to be activated with the op fire. So he's going to go there. Does this guy want to fire? Yeah, they're going to op fire at least once on that last guy. So we're looking at 12, but it's going to go down 1 and then up 1. So it'd be on 11, down to 7, up to 11 for the modifiers. So on the 11, ooh, a 10 on the 11 is an M1. So that's just on this one. So that's a 8. It needs a 7 or less. 10. If it fails by 3 or more, let me pull this up real quick here. Let's see here. It's morale. No, that's not going to help me. I'm going to look it up real quick here. It is morale checks 14.0. My big issue is I wish there was page numbers here. Okay, 14.0, not recovery. For example, the Commodore adds 2, yeah, blah, blah, blah. If there's result is greater than the unit's or leader's morale by 1 or 2, it fails and becomes. Okay, so it's the morale. Okay, so that's fine because it'd have to be an 11. Okay, that makes sense. So, but he is disrupted, so that wasn't too bad. Okay, these guys are going to go 1, going to hold off. 2, these guys will op fire. Their final one now that's in within 2, so that's 12, so that's 11. So here we go, 11. Oh, it's actually going to be on the 16 because it's going to be op fire against personnel. Oh, but I can't. It's only going to be 1. Forgot about that. Can't you move them individually because op fire is for that one. So it's. Is it on the 11? So it's 8. Yeah, it's on the 11, but +1. So it's just a morale check. And he's fine. Okay. So then 1, 2. Nobody else cannot fire. 1, 2. And let's go 1, 2. We'll have to do a recovery here. So activate. There we go. Fog of War, 11 again, right? 11. Let's turn off the game charts. Yep, 11. Okay, so now we have the Germans. He is going to wait for them to get closer. Oh, he doesn't have the range anyways. He can't see anybody. This guy can. he could see this unit's right here. So let's go ahead. We're going to activate him to fire. He's going to fire on this guy right there. So it's going to be on 8, self-spotting. So we go to game charts, bombardment. It's on the 8, but it goes up to 12 for self-spotting. Here we go, 2d6. 3. Ooh, it's an M1. Okay, so it's an 8. So 7, so I need 7 or less. That's fine. And this guy right here is an 8, so would need a 7 or less. So he's disrupted too. This is activated. All right, nice. Fog of War 4, way off. Don't need to worry about that. The Soviets are going to activate these guys right here. And with that, they're going to they're gonna move. Well, they're not gonna move. Hold on. We're not gonna activate these guys. What we're gonna do? Is we're gonna do our off-board artillery. I think we've got 3, so that would give me 38. So that'd put me over the 30. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna use this one, and this one. So because you can use up to 3, so that'll put me on the 30, and it'll be straight up on the 30. So let's see what happens. On the 30, 5 on the 30 is an M1. Okay. So all those are fired. A 30, so it's an M1. So this infantry is a 7 or less. Fine. And then this 50 millimeter, an 8. Yep, he's disrupted. Okay. Well, that wasn't. That kind of helped. Yeah, that kind of helped. All right. So game charts off. Fog of War 10. Okay. So all of my off-board artillery is done. It is now back to the Luftwaffe, the Germans again. Let's see here. I do have to. Okay, well, this guy's going to activate to see if he can recover. It'll be a 6 or less. Got a 6, so his morale will go up. And Fog of War 7. Okay. Let me make sure I make this as activated so that way it works out. Only got a few items left. So this stack right here is going to activate. It's going to move. It's going to go 1. And that'll be it. One of these has an engineer. Yeah, this engineer the engineer in here. I'm going to need to get up here. So he's going to be making a movement that way. Okay. Oh, Fog of War. 10. Okay. I think they're just going to pass. Yes, they're going to pass. Okay, still Fog of War though, even with the pass. And then these guys are going to go ahead and activate these to move. So basically, oh, come on. This guy's going to move 1. These guys are going to move 1. And he is going to, these guys are going to op fire. So it's going to be on the 5. It's not really going to matter. Game charts. Direct. So it's going to be on the 4. It's actually going to be on the 2. 4 on the 2 is morale check. Okay, so the leader's a 9. Fine. And he's fine too. Okay, so they're all fine. So but he's going to move 1 more. So this will be on the 4. 10 on the 4. It's also morale check. Wow. Go figure. Okay. The leader's fine as well as the unit is fine. Okay. And then we have these guys right here. They're just going to go 1, 2. That's as far as they can go. I think that's it. Fog of War, 7. But honestly, looking at this, I have nothing else left to activate on either side. Other than there's this truck right here. But everything else has been activated, so that will be it for... Yep, that'll be it for this turn. So let's go ahead and pull the turn back up. We did lose another step here, but their initiative is only reduced by 6 steps, so that's not a problem. So we're going to go ahead and go to 45. And then the one thing I learned is that before you save, you need to retire into an observation. I retired there because if I retire now, I can go back to solitaire. So we'll cancel that. So that way I can do it, and you can see where the minefields are as an observer, which is pretty cool when we get to it. All right, let's see. So we're going to go ahead and save this. Save game as beginning 0945. All right, there we go. And I forgot to clear markers. Oh, I gotta go back. I gotta unretire. Jeez. Go back to solitaire. Clear markers, so that way everything's where it's supposed to be. And now we'll go ahead and save game. Wait, cancel. Hold on. I want to make sure I retire into observe, and then save game. This way, my biggest issue was that I couldn't get into solitaire, and it would have been a pain in the butt. So now I'm solitaire again, so it works out pretty well. So hope you enjoyed that. We will continue this later, and have a great day.